Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Burgers with Eric podcast.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Burgers with Eric podcast. My name is Stephen James, your host. To my right is the producer of the Burgers with Eric podcast, Sexy Lexi. What's up, mama?
What's up?
And to Lexi's right is the big-boned Andrew Tate, the dime store Dan Bilzerian, the Airbnb king of South Florida, Eric Lugo! What's up? What's up, you big-boned Andrew Tate?
Chilling. Once again, listen, if someone's going to be a hater and they're going to try to make fun of me, you got to come up with something way more condescending than a big-boned Andrew Tate, because that feels pretty cool, dude.
Bro, you know what it was? I think because he was probably like listening to the message and it hit him like, I can't prove him right, so let's just call him Big Boned. Yeah, that'll do it.
Mean big-boned person.
You're fucking so stupid. Yeah. Like, you completely whiffed on the whole point of that short.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up and listen, bro. Like, stop. Jesus Christ.
Nothing kills me more. Like, the thing is if you comment like hate comments, unless you have your face and identity attached to it, you're so pathetic.
Oh, you're so fucking brave.
Like, come on. I mean, it would mean more if you could hit me spot on, right?
Yeah. Toe to toe. You want to go toe to toe?
Yeah, like, it's pathetic. You have to go anonymous.
What the fuck? Dude, half the comments on Instagram are like that.
Yeah.
Like, you see the shit, it's just a gray fucking avatar
Ghost
with
accounts.
nobody. Yeah. Like,
Maybe it isn't anybody. You know, that's the other thing too.
Yeah, we don't know.
You know, maybe it is just fucking bots, right? Negatives. But I find it entertaining. Listen, if people are going to call me a wannabe Dan Bilzerian and a big bone fucking Andrew Tate, I feel pretty cool.
Oh, hell
cool.
yeah. Fuck yeah. That's not, that ain't bad.
Yeah.
I'm just Dan Bilzerian with a little less money. That's all.
A whole lot less.
Yeah.
All right. Well, so guys, what we're going to do today, we're going to cut it a little bit short because the wine guards have errands to run because they run successful businesses, so they can't sit here jerking off with Uncle Steve all afternoon. So we're going to do probably 35, 45 minutes. Sex Lax has some interview questions she'd like to ask us, and I can't, we've been talking about that for like 2 days now, that you're going to interview us, and last time we did it came out good. I want, now that we're 18 episodes in, this is going to be a lot more fun. So
Yeah.
What do you got, Lex?
Yeah, so I feel like you guys both have similar people that look up to you. It's funny. We were talking to my mom yesterday on the phone, and this is where the questions tie in. My brother really does look up to Eric. He's 20 years old. So just from your guys' wisdom and being on this earth 40 plus years, we're going to go back to that. Some things that I think you guys can offer as far as advice and perspective is where we're going to go with these.
Cool.
So
Cool.
the first one I came up with, because we get our clientele with Airbnb is a lot like this, and maybe you guys have similar, maybe you have different answers. But the first question, if you were 25 years old and you had $20,000 saved in the bank, how would you spend it? How would you save it?
Neat. Eric.
Oh, good question.
Yeah, $25K in the bank.
Yeah. Okay. So this is now. You have to put these things into context, right? So if you got 20 grand saved up and you're homeless or jobless, I would say find yourself some shelter, find yourself some food, but basically on the other end of the spectrum, if you're doing well, let's say you're making 80 grand a year and you kind of see your career ascending, what would I do with $20,000? Well, I have a rule where, let's say my bills are $2,000 a month. In my immediate checking account, I like to have about 6 months of bills saved up, right? So I would have, at least in that scenario, $12,000 in an immediate liquid fund. That's me. I personally feel safe there. Mm-hmm. Now, for someone, it might be 3 months. For someone, it might be a year. You have to go based off your risk tolerance. So with this scenario, let's say this person's bills are $2,000 a month. I would keep $12,000 in my account because this is going to relieve the stress and anxiety of investing. That's really where people get scared to invest, is it's the fear of taking action. Mm-hmm. So I would take that other $8,000 and you know what I would do? I would put $4 grand in the S&P 500, right? Oh, we talked about that before, Steve. And I would put, I would take the other $4 grand and put it in crypto. I would put $2,500 in Bitcoin, and then I would take $750, put it into XRP, and another $750 into Ethereum. So here's the cool thing too. Just so you know, babe, you could scale that scale that kind of mix with 200,000. I mean, Steve, you want to hear something crazy?
Mm-hmm.
Dude, we talked to a guy my age. He asked me what he should do with $200,000, and I said, well, where's the money? He said, in my mattress.
What?
In his
There's a lot of people
mattress.
like that.
Wow.
I was like, that's the worst place to put it.
That's where my grandparents kept their money because they were Italian immigrants, bro.
You know, so but my point is that with that same math, babe,
Yeah.
I would tell that guy, I would say, all right, so get whatever 6 months of bills are. Let's say it's 10 grand a month. I would keep $60,000 in an immediate checking account, and the other $140,000. I'm a little more on the risky end than Steve is, but with 140 in that scenario, I'd buy a property,
Yeah.
no doubt, and I would go on the S&P 500, and I would buy some of those more reliable cryptos that look like they're gonna stand the test of time.
Sure.
That's
Nice
awesome.
answer.
Okay. Well, while you were saying that, and I was listening, but I'm researching my shit because my idea is going to blow you out the water, bro.
Let's go.
Okay. So first things first, Eric's investing strategies were very good, but that's for people that already have some money coming in too.
Yep.
Okay. So if you had nothing, you were broke, you were homeless, and someone handed you a check for $25,000, first fucking thing I would do would be to go buy like a $3,500 to $5,000 pickup truck.
Oh,
Okay.
I like weird.
All right, pickup truck. Because, well, you're homeless, so you probably don't have a girlfriend, or you might have a dog, and that's why the other seat is there in the pickup truck. But the utility of the back of that pickup truck is why we're buying a pickup truck in the first place. You might want to go with a van as well, whatever's cheaper. Bottom line is you need a utility vehicle, okay? Next thing you're going to do is you're going to head on over to Amazon.com, and you're going to buy 3 George Foreman grills that make 5 burgers each for $60. Okay, see where I'm going with this?
Yeah, dude,
Okay.
I like it.
Next, we're going to go to uline.com, and we're going to buy a $250 pop-up instant canopy. It's 10 foot by 10 foot. It's $250. It's white. Doesn't have to be fucking fancy. Then we're going to go to Fiverr.com, and we're going to have somebody design us a logo for $25, $35. Doesn't matter. Name your business. Get the logo. Go have them print up some business cards. Probably going to cost you $180, $200 for that. And then what you do is you go to your local municipality and you figure out how much a permit costs to set up a pop-up burger vending station.
Wow.
Smart.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, very smart.
So now, $3,500 minus 2, 4, 6. So you still got about $20,000 left. And what you're going to do is every day pick out your spot. You're going to want to make it around, business area, right? Somewhere where there's a lot of foot and or vehicle traffic. There's a guy in Boynton Beach on Woolbright Boulevard sells Sabrett hot dogs straight from New York City. That's all the motherfucker does. He's
I
there.
see him all the
He's there
time.
24/7. I haven't stopped and got one, but I want to.
I've seen him a
But
lot.
you don't continue to do that unless it's making you some money. So the point is, you got $20,000. Now you have a pop-up business started for less than $5,000. You take $10,000 of that $20,000 and you put it into what? The S&P 500, like Eric suggested.
Nice.
Right now, that's going to leave you with $10,000 in operating cash and a business with a legal permit. You can buy plenty of fucking burgers for $10,000. All you got to do is go to Costco, buy the long tubes, and all you're doing is feeding snacks. Huge thing of cheese at Restaurant Depot, big huge bag of buns at Restaurant Depot. Maybe you do a little onion salt on the burger on your George Foreman grill. All of a sudden, you got a business. You charge $5 a piece for the burgers, still less than McDonald's, and people are walking away with 2 burgers for $10, and you are just cashing in, my friend. That's what I would do.
Smart. Steve went the route. He bought a business.
Got to
Yeah.
buy a business. You have to.
I like it.
Because ultimately, at the end of the day, you can sit around and wait for the S&P 500 to mature, and it will, but you don't have 1 year to wait for your 10 to 12% returns. You have to feed yourself and your family now, and you only have $25,000, no house, no clothes, no shoes, no nothing. That's where you do it.
You know why I love what you said, Steve, right? And I'll give you if we were doing a debate right now, I would say win this one because ask her whenever we're talking about where we should invest money. Wherever it is, I always tell her the best returns is to invest into our business or
100%.
businesses.
Yeah. Because you already have it. It's already
Yeah.
established.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yep.
Both wonderful answers, and I think a lot of people can take from both.
Hope so.
Alrighty, so we're going to switch it up because, we talk relationships, fitness, business. Okay, we're going to move into the relationship topic. So, I personally am under the belief, and we've talked about this in past episodes, that this whole dating world that's current, this modern dating world, I think it's pretty fucked up. It goes from the app, the swiping, whatever. But with that being said, I think at the end of the day, us as humans are supposed to procreate and be with someone. And, that's just what my belief is. I think that we're supposed to be with someone at the end of the day. And dating has changed. So with that being said, is there something that you can recommend to people in this modern dating world to consider at the very beginning of dating before moving into a serious relationship? Like, is it asking certain questions?
Yeah.
Go on.
Yeah, you can go first.
You want me to go first?
Yeah,
All right, cool.
because you won.
So, any young man out there listening, take it, and again, my wife's fucking hot. But okay, so my particular experience was I had a set of non-negotiables.
Yep.
Okay. It's going to get some people mad at Uncle Steve, but...
That's okay. We like that.
If you are in it for, actual marriage, no single moms. Sorry. They're wonderful people, but at the end of the day, that is not your kid. Your needs will always come secondary to the child, unless you're a completely different breed of guy that is willing to raise another man's kid. Just take it from my mistake. That's not going to work out. 99,
Now, what if? What if you have you have a child? What if you're a single dad?
It's different for guys, I think, and this is where the double standard comes into play for men and women. Mm-hmm. You understand what I'm saying? Our function on the earth is to provide and protect. Your function is to maintain the bloodline and procreate and all that stuff. It's a little bit different. It all depends on custody. Like, my sister's with a guy that has 3 kids, and she's happier than she could ever be. She still has that, from time to time, I'm sure she feels that, she doesn't get all the attention, which in some cases is a good thing. But I'm speaking from a man who knew that he wanted to build his own business. He wanted to drive his own company, and you can't do that without, like Benji said last week, without a good woman by your side. You can't do that. And she has to be kind of focused on exactly what it is you're doing. Again, hate me in the comments all you want. This is just my preference. For me, no. I want to build something fresh with somebody else. I want to experience everything new with somebody else, which is having your own kid. I want to share that with somebody that hasn't been through it before. So number 1 is no single moms. Number 2 is looks are not everything. Guys, that's going to get you in a lot of fucking trouble. You know what I'm saying? I would rather take a 5 that has good morals and brings, that, like nurturing ability, because sometimes guys like us need that support. We need that support because at the end of the day, we're always the rock for everybody else. It's nice to have somebody there by your side pushing you if and when you need it, right? So, number 2 is going to be don't really, looks are last on the list. You need to find somebody that's been raised properly. On my list was parents still married. I know it's a tall task. It's a difficult task, but these are unicorn women, man. And getting married it's a huge liability, or it can be a huge blessing. You have to choose that right partner, because the person you choose can either make or break you. In a lot of cases, it does the opposite of what people intend. But go put looks last on the list. Go with morality and the ability to nurture and support you. And then 3rd would be probably the fitness thing. I got into a little argument with somebody online the other day. I was like, I wouldn't date that. It was like, so, you scroll through and you see these Brazilian models or whatever, and I'm just like, let me look at the fucking comments on this. No thanks, pass. And I'm just like, God, you people don't understand the dedication and the accountability that it takes to have a fucking physique like that. Like, you can take steroids and but you still have to go to the fucking gym, right? Like, there's still a consistency that has to be there and an accountability to yourself. So, that's what I kind of look for. Look for somebody that takes care of themselves, because if they take care of themselves, it means they know how to take care of other stuff. So, no single moms. Looks aren't everything. Look at what's inside before you make that, final, marriage thing, and then lastly, it's going to be that they take care of themselves. So those are my 3 things. I think if you stick to those, chances are you'll find a mate worthy to share your entire life with. So.
Did you ask top 3 things, or did you just say?
in general.
Oh, just in general.
No, I just came up with.
Oh, it's okay. I just wanted to answer the question right. So, all right. So it's interesting because I think, and I was guilty of this myself. I see people guilty of this all the time, and I see the speed of relationships. Right? It's like the velocity, and we've always, everybody knows about the honeymoon phase, right? And man, I see people ready to have kids, get married so early. My belief is this. I think, tell me if you guys disagree.
Okay.
I'd be curious to hear your opinion on this. I think you have to go through ups and downs, wins and losses with someone to really get to fucking know them. I think it takes a minimum of 2 years to really get to know someone.
I think it's 5.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Some people think I'm crazy when I say 2 years.
No. Well, yeah, two's a little quick. It's a little, in my opinion, it's a little.
No, I'm not saying get married and have kids in 2 years.
No.
It depends on your timeline. If you're older, that's different. Yeah. But I think it's a minimum. That's my point of 2 years to where you actually really know someone. But do you see my point? Because is people make decisions too fast.
Because you don't know someone's character until you've seen them lose.
Yeah.
Or get told no.
Yeah.
That's when their true character comes out. Honeymoon phase. Oh yeah, honey. Yes, honey. Yeah, no.
Yep.
Yeah, bro. No, you're spot on with that. Yeah,
So
add that to the list. Number 4 is time.
Yeah, I see people rushing into it, and it's interesting because looks aren't everything, but the pow is.
Oh yeah,
The pow is.
Explain.
The pow, right?
So is your advice for a guy to have a good sex life?
No. I just think that listen, me and Steve. I could date Steve. He's a wonderful person. He makes me laugh, and we could do shit together and have fun.
Your ass is too big for me.
But we're not pow-powing,
Right.
So so whether they're whatever end of the spectrum they're on in terms of attractiveness, dude,
what you're trying to say is you have to have that mutual attraction and desire for each other. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, that together. Yeah, that's got to be there, and it's. But you're right. I've seen relationships. I can think of one in particular, and I think my 1-2 friends. I'm not gonna say his name, but him and this girl in their late 20s. I think that it was just a hot sexual relationship, and it was the worst relationship ever. They're always fighting, but they just had such chemistry, and it kept them together for years, and it ended really ugly. So on the flip side, the pow can really mask a lot of the flaws in the relationship. So timing, and then here's the other thing too. So to go back with timing, this kind of answers the question. It kind of doesn't, but I think, and I didn't realize this till I was older. I didn't realize this till I'm 43 now. I probably realized this at 35. People's timelines got to match up. So when you mentioned a single mom, listen, I agree with you in terms of someone being selfish about having their best relationship and their best interests at heart. But I would argue that if I'm a single father and I'm 43 and I have a child and I meet a woman who's 35 who has a child, I think that is more likely to work, right?
Sure.
Whereas listen,
sure, I was speaking that came from the single guy in the dating world today.
Yeah.
I wasn't. I always
no,
assuming,
nothing against it. No, I'm just talking about timelines in general. I'm not saying I disagree with you. Whereas now imagine me and Alexis, we work out so well, even though I'm 43 and she's 26. Now, if I was 43 and I had 3 kids, that makes it.
That's a non-negotiable for me too.
Yeah, it's less likely it's going to work, right?
100%.
But because I don't have kids, she doesn't have kids, we both want them in the next couple years.
It's like kids, okay. Kids,
if they both have kids.
Not really okay. But timeline, again, it takes a different person to raise someone else's child without, and you don't have your own.
Yeah.
And the other thing, too, is the age of the kids. Look, man, if you're 40 and you have an 18-year-old, all right, fucking whatever. The 18-year-old kid is you don't have to take them to school. You don't have to feed them every 5 minutes. You don't have to change their diaper. You'll never have priority if their kid is under fucking 13. That's my opinion on it.
Yeah, men and women, be patient. Just take your time.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. So both, again, good answers. This is more general, but there's things now at the age of 40 that have nothing to do with relationships. If you could tell yourself when you were younger what you know now as a 40-year-old, what are some things that are notable to you that you wish you knew when you were younger? It could be like a saying, a phrase, a belief.
With regard to relationships?
With anything. Like something that you know now that maybe you harped on when you were younger that you wish that you knew, wow, that didn't matter, or wow, that really did matter to me.
I can go first,
Go.
Steve, that we'll
Yeah.
keep altering. This is just me personally, okay? So I'm speaking through my own life, taking care of my body, taking care of my body.
Yeah.
So I really like if you knew me at 23, I was in ridiculous shape. And in fact, my confidence always came from being the strong guy, the athletic guy, the physically fit guy. And that's really where my confidence came from. And I still love exercising today, clearly. But I wish I had taken better care of my body, and I didn't, and I lost track of that. Right, so I got so focused on business, and you talk about this all the time, Steve. Going dark for 6 months, and I had a lot of those periods where I did go dark, and I just focused on work and business and making money, and I just let my health slide. And then, I get to my young 30s, and then there's some injuries and a couple health complications that picked up that maybe probably didn't occur, right, if I was really taking care of myself. So I would say, if you're a 22-year-old man or woman, treating your body like you're a 43-year-old man or woman, taking care of it, warming up, stretching, eating well, eating organic, all the above.
And to that point, I mean, it goes with the triangle of success that, we discussed with Tom Beal back in like episode 2 or 4, rather. Health, wealth, relationships, right? So if you have the go dark period where you're just focused on business and all that shit, but you're skipping the exercise, you're doing yourself a disservice.
Yeah.
Like I have a little minor back injury. I still don't know what the fuck I did. That's just benefit of being 44 years old now. I haven't been in the gym in like 2 weeks, and my brain is not as sharp because I generally start my day working out. And then relationships, right? But you can't really focus on romantic relationships without the wealth and the health component. Because again, if you're not healthy and you look in the mirror and see somebody you hate, there goes your self-confidence, you're shot. Yeah. So really that triangle is very important. All three things are very important. So,
yeah, and I think to summarize kind of what I was thinking, Steve, and agreeing with you, it's to never. There's going to be periods of imbalance.
Oh, sure,
and that's fine, right? Like the 6 month going dark. I agree with you completely, but to recalibrate after, and there were periods I never recalibrated.
Yeah.
That's
100%. Just get back to it. So something that I wish I knew then, what I know now. Don't be so quick to trust people, I guess. Maybe that's it. Just kind of keep your, I want to say friends close and enemy closer. This is kind of fucking cliche. But, trust but verify. That's, and even then.
Yeah.
So is this coming from
I
a
don't
place
know.
of being burned a couple times? Is that?
Just not burned, but maybe taken for
Are you
granted.
talking?
Maybe taken for granted. This is business relationships,
Okay.
I guess.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So knowing, all right, yeah, I got one. All right. Knowing now what I wish I knew then, which was having passions and hobbies is fine, okay? But my dad always said, if you can't afford it, don't buy it.
Yep.
Right? If you can't pay cash, don't fucking buy it. You can still use your Amex card, but pay the fucking thing off, right? Cars, my car passion has been a thing since I was probably fucking 12 years old. It kept me very financially poor between the ages of like fucking, 16 when I could drive to 28 when I started really making money and could afford that passion and that hobby. I tell young people this all the time. Head down, have the goal, forget fucking women, forget drinking. All of that shit doesn't do anything for your future self. Because let me tell you something. Life in your 30s with $1 million is a shitload more fun than life in your 30s as a single man with $500 in your fucking checking account.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So what I tell kids is eat shit for 5 years. Learn a skill. Become the best at it for 5 years. Well, all your buddies are out there getting fucked up at the club, passing around the same 30 hoes. Right?
So true.
You're becoming
The same 30 bitches everywhere you go.
100%.
And that'll never change. That's
No, it's
always going to
never
be
gonna
how it
change.
is.
They're just
I know
gonna-
guys my age that are doing that
They
shit
just
right now.
replace each other. But
Yep.
while all your buddies are doing that and being like, I'm peaking at 30 because I had sex with 50 girls this month. Like,
Peaking.
okay, that's all fucking fun and games, but guess what? By the time you're 30, now you get your pick of that litter. The same age group as your friends are fucking around with now, but now you've got money. Now you can afford to take them on trips. You can afford to buy them that Louis bag. You can afford to buy them that Chanel shit. While your 30-year-old buddies are like, fuck, I gotta go to my 9-to-5 job for $22 an hour. No. Suffer now so you can win later. That is what I wish I knew.
I gotta let me bust in a funny story real quick. So I never had much money, until probably I started making six figures, $250,000, early 30s, right? I was making six figures at 26, but like really crept up to a couple hundred, 30-ish, right?
That's a lot of money.
Yeah, especially and this is the year 2009, right? In little old
It's like making
Rochester.
$1 million now.
Yeah. So Andy, right? This
Yep.
is hilarious, right? We both were in long relationships, and we both broke up with girls at the very same month. It was like May, I think of like 2013, and I remember vividly what Andy said to me. We're on the phone, and he's like, "This is fucking crazy. Like we're both single, and it's summertime."
What do we do now?
He goes, and we got money. He goes,
What do we do
and
now?
we got money.
Yeah.
I go, let's fucking kill it. and we went nuts. It was
Where's Pablo's phone number?
Andy.
First of all. And then let's locate the boat dealership.
Dude, we
guys
went
are one of the
hard. We
same.
went hard. Shout out to
easy.
Andy. We went
All
hard.
guys are one of the same.
Dude, a boat and a sack of cocaine is hooker bait.
Yeah, no, when we went to Lake George, my brother was like, God, I want a boat. I'm like, you're such a dude.
Yeah,
like, it's just
I don't. I got to be honest with you. I'm not a fucking boat guy whatsoever. That ocean doesn't want you in there.
I like boats.
No, the ocean, everything in that water is trying to kill you, man.
They're a vibe. They are a
Well,
vibe.
fuck that boat.
I knew
All
this
right.
would jump into things. Okay.
Yeah, this is dope.
So
I like it. Go.
I just want to be considerate of time here.
Okay, I got 9 minutes. We're good, though.
Okay,
Let's rock
we're
and
good. We're
roll.
at 27.
This is
All
fun.
right.
Let's
Yeah,
go.
see,
I
I
got
knew we
9.
could
We're
get some
good.
good
Perfect.
shit
Let's
out of
rock.
here. Alrighty.
I love these.
Alrighty. So, so what's becoming more popular, at least I think, is like self-talk. So, or not popular, but more openly spoken about. Now, the reason why I'm bringing this up is because Eric, along with I'm getting this from his conversations with my brother, going off of affirmations, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So if you guys could just elaborate on your beliefs in self-talk, self-confidence, how important is that for your, like, where you want your life to go, in your opinion? Like, how big of a role did that play for you to get to your success at this point in life?
So I'll touch on this first. You want, Steve? And this question's my fault because I'm in a totally different space today than I've ever been.
Yeah,
right.
me too.
And it is spiritual, right? And I'm not trying to get all godlike on everybody because I don't even know if there is a God, but I do believe that I do believe we have souls, and I am much more spiritually connected and awakened and open than I've ever been, right? So I believe at the core, right? Confidence is the number one most important thing for you to take action or have any kind of success, right? But a lot of people lack it, and one of the things that I recommend people do are affirmations, and I've done them my entire life, actually, and because I believe it kind of, like if you're doing it in the morning, and now I don't yell them out loud, but like if I'm driving Harvey, my dog, to doggy daycare, I'll put affirmations on, and I'm just emotionally saying them in my head, right? I truly believe it emotionally kind of hardwires me, and I just start acting differently, and people start receiving me differently, and positivity just occurs. So I think it's people think I'm nuts about the flat earth thing. right? They think I'm crazy. I know. You guys click.
You are fucking crazy.
But I think if there was anything to hide, I think they're trying to hide some of our superpowers, and I think some of our that's kind of what I think it is.
Yeah, 1,000%.
And I believe this is a superpower. So when people call me and ask for sales advice, I'm like, don't I don't want to hear about your product. I don't want to hear about your presentation.
Let me hear about how you
you.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
You. See, you get it, right? Because you're there. Because you're there.
Well, so to that point, I learned affirmations in 2005. Right? Wow. And I'm like, what the fuck? I've told this story on the podcast before. They sat me down next to his 2005 Porsche Turbo, right, in his garage in Fairport or whatever. And they went down this whole positive affirmation, like, you know, because I was sick. They're like, no, your mind controls your physiology, right? People get sick because they think themselves into fucking sickness. Yep. And people think you're crazy for saying that, but it's 1,000% true. Bro, I never had COVID. I rarely get sick. I might get the sniffles here and there. That's it. Because I have 2 little kids. But learned it in 2005, affirmations. Somebody like your brother, they've never been taught this, right? You younger kids, you grew up in a different fucking time. Meaning your parents are like, on top of it. God forbid little Susie fails. God forbid little Billy jumps off a fucking bike ramp and breaks a leg. No, like you guys, I've talked about this before. You guys have never fucking suffered. So it all comes to a fucking head as soon as, for Marcus, clearly he gets out of college and all of a sudden, because holy shit, the real world is not what life has been for the first 18 years.
Oh, wow.
Think about it.
Yeah, just so you know, you just touched on something. This will help us go viral. That's why I want to bring it up.
Yeah.
Did you watch Johnny Football yet?
No, I didn't see it.
Oh,
no,
my
I've
God.
had a crazy week, bro.
Watch it. This is basically what happens.
Yeah.
He's famous.
Well, that was Vince Young's problem, too. Remember, Vince Young was the first one to freak the fuck out?
Yep.
Same shit.
Yep.
Think about it. He's had his balls licked by every single human being that comes across him since he could throw a football.
Yeah.
Now, all of a sudden, you go 1-14 with the Titans, and everybody's like, fuck you, Vince. Like, how do you take that?
Yeah.
It's amazing. Even at that level, they're still
mentally,
down.
What the fuck could that do to your head? So I can imagine the hundreds of millions of fucking young men that are out there, young men and women.
Yeah.
Right? Like, holy shit. Dude, you're a little princess. You can't do no wrong. And all of a sudden, somebody tells you no as an adult, and they flip the fuck out. I had that with my tenants.
Yeah.
I got my car towed. I don't give a fuck.
So,
but she literally expected that I fucking pay the $300 towing bill.
No.
I'm like, no, lady, what are you talking about? I go, listen, here's what's going to happen. Here's $300. Never fucking do that again. Never call me again. I just don't want to talk to you or your fucking stepdad ever again.
Yeah.
The $300 is not worth it to me. But yes, positive affirmations, self-talk. If, first of all, people don't realize you have a 1 in 1 trillion chance of being born. Period. You already won. You already won at the game of life. Did you wake up breathing today? It's a good fucking day. Nothing else matters. Oh no, there's a leak under your sink. So fucking what?
Yeah. So I don't want to go too off topic just because of the time restraints.
I'm sorry, you guys.
You're okay.
No, you're fine. But going off of the Johnny Football Netflix, I would call it a documentary. I think it's important for male, female to find an identity in more than just one thing. The reason why I'm saying that, identity/confidence, because this kid created an identity that stemmed from being good at college football. Mm-hmm. But here's the thing, and I know a lot of guys that this happened to. I mean, I went to a D3 school, but their confidence came from being a collegiate athlete.
Oh, 100%.
But the second they're done with being a collegiate athlete, and in fact, most of them turned out to be losers. Mm-hmm. So I think it's important, just in general, with the advice to find an identity in more than one thing that creates confidence for you.
No, for sure.
Especially, God forbid, you get hurt. And I mean, come on, how many people actually go off into the pros?
That happened to me too. So in 2008, when I lost my job, I was like, what the fuck? Mm-hmm. Now what? Mm-hmm. That was my job. This is my job. This is who I am. I'm an outside sales rep for ADP. Right. And then it's ripped away. It's gone in a fucking instant. It's the same, like you're saying with the college football players. Okay, so easy way around that is there's a plethora of free information on YouTube, on Amazon, on fucking everything. Pick something and go get proficient at it, because proficiency breeds confidence.
Yeah.
I don't care what it is. If it's setting up fucking podcasts, be the best one. Claudio, the guy that did the videos, right? He is phenomenal. And you could just tell by the way he carries himself. I'm the fucking man at this. I know exactly what I'm doing.
Yeah.
It didn't take, what did he say? It took him 18 months?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and he's getting $3,500 for 5 shitty videos. Like, come on, man. The videos were phenomenal. That's not what I meant. I meant like a measly 5 videos, man. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
You know, you have the ability to print it. Just like the first example with the George Foreman pop-up fucking burger stand. Go be the best at that.
Yeah.
What else do you have to lose? That's your identity. Oh my God, you're the burger guy. You're the burger guy. You're the burger guy. You know.
Oh, maybe we should start one. Burgers
not
with
fucking-
Eric Truck.
That logo looks sick.
Yeah, that'd be dope.
Not a bad
I
idea.
hate to do this. I do
Yeah.
that. I got a crazy afternoon. I got to get Harvey. Damn
right.
contractors.
All right.
I
I know.
gotta jump
Looks
on
like you
these.
got to
It's
rip a
okay.
floor up, bro.
I know.
Yeah,
I gotta-
it's possible.
Sorry we had to do but hey, I think we got a lot of good stuff out of that.
Yeah, no, that's not bad.
I think we got some
We'll be
fire.
back for the full hour next week, and we'll see if Lexi has any more questions for us. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening to the Burgers with Eric podcast. You can find new episodes on Spotify on Monday and YouTube on Saturday.